Dude, what happened?
I got some guy from Pakistan that wanted me to literally pay him 10 grand to get it back. It was me and Tristan McCormick, actually. He
Yo,
gaffled us at the same time. So he played us both.
Welcome to Get the Net, a fishing podcast that takes a deep dive into competitive events, fishing news, tips, tactics, and most importantly, interviews with some of the most interesting and in-tune anglers from Canada to the central U.S. We're leaving no stone unturned to bring you the most raw and authentic dock talk. My name is Jamie Bruce. While my resume says bass, my frying pan says walleye, and I'm no stranger to the multi-species realm. Whether you're puttering on tackle, driving the bus, cutting the grass, or killing time in a 9 to 5, we'll try to give you something in every episode to take with you on the water, or at the very least, bring you a few laughs. All right, welcome back, lube tubers, spot doggers, apple pluckers. I'm happy to be here for another season. It's been a lot of fun. Man, I got to talk to so many different people from so many facets of the industry, and it's been really good getting a good all-around picture and lots of good stories, tons of laughs, overwhelming response. Yeah, it's crazy how this thing shook out. I mean, it literally started because of an injury one weekend. I've told this before. I told this on the first one, but yeah, I mean, back in April 2022, I was, sleeping in my bed one fateful Friday night, and the dog started going nuts, and I heard the patio door just rattling in the house. And man, I leapt out of the bed like a damn Avenger at 2:00 in the morning. And, I was like, okay, this is it. Man of the house. Someone's trying to breach. And here we go. I mean, not all heroes wear capes. Time to get down there and, protect what's mine. So I launched out of the bed, and we sleep upstairs, and man, I missed that first step on the staircase. And I just went down like a sack of potatoes down to the landing of the stairs. Ashley got up and just kind of stepped over me and walked over, and it's like, yeah, I was a bear. So yeah, long story short, got a bunch of injuries. Nothing me. I didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. I just couldn't do. I was probably going to work on the cabin or whatever I was going to do that weekend. It's like, okay, the weekends are right off. It's April, so not really a whole lot of fishing going on or anything like that. So I just kind of put the nose to the grindstone. I'd been thinking of starting a podcast, really like listening to them. I mentioned it before, but the casting deck, and I really like what those guys had going over in Manitoba. And I was just like, yeah, it'd be good to, kind of interview the people that I've met along the way or really like following. And yeah, it's snowballed. It's been so much fun. Since Alex Kessler came on, the first guest. But yeah, it's, and you may be thinking well, why do you need a weekend to set up a podcast? Well, it is a ton of work. It might just look like nothing on the surface, and maybe it could be nothing if you weren't worried about, any kind of quality control or getting it out there and getting it viewed and everything. But I just knew it wouldn't be sustainable if we didn't make it good. So there's been, we've had our share of audio issues and video stuff and equipment failure and losing files. And that's just something that happens. It's just the way of the road. But we're getting her ironed out. The response from the fishing community and not fishing community, just people in general, it's been overwhelming. I had to pull all the year-end stats and things like that for sponsor stuff moving forward, and it was right up there in Canada, sandwiched between Meat Eater and Bigfoot. And it was, at year-end, number one in fishing podcasts listened to by Canadians. So obviously there's a million factors that go into that. Mercer's got a way bigger one, but that's a US audience. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We're not doing it to get on the charts. I just wanted to highlight that, to just point out that is because of the listeners. It's an engaged audience. People stick around. Lots of people chime in. I've had tons of people. It's been a conversation starter since it started. And, you're not always going to agree with my opinions. And to be honest, I probably looked back on some of my opinions and I was like, well, that's a dumb thing to say, or I didn't actually mean that, or things like that. It's just kind of the way of the road for the podcast, it seems like. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna keep it rocking. It's something I really like to do. It's worth the time commitment to me. And yeah, like I said, I just gotta say thanks to everyone that likes and subs and rates and reviews. There's tons of ratings and reviews and everything. I hadn't even been looking at them for the year. I didn't even know how to unlock them on the audio platforms. And I'm like, oh, all these people saying all this nice stuff and dropping, ratings and everything like that. And man, it means a lot. So keep that going, share it with your friends, comment, like, subscribe, rate, review, just keep that rocking if you haven't already. And yeah, just know that it means a bunch. It's, it may just be a click on your end, but it it really helps the show and helps keep things rocking. So just want to give some recognition there. But yeah, we're looking forward into 2023. It's going to be a big year. Things are busy in kind of all aspects of life right now. I had the opens coming up, and they're, to be honest, I'm not thinking about those maybe as much as I should be. I'm doing a lot of prep, but there's a lot of other things going on. So hopefully it doesn't stay on the back burner for too long. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get fired up on those soon. Uh, and hey, we actually talked our way onto a new platform, a new show, into the Great Wide Opens. It's a new show presented by Straycast. Straycast has been my single favorite podcast since I first ever found podcasts. Uh, there's a lot of real talk there, lots of fun, and we go pretty wild on there. So really good show, uh, really widely accepted across the industry, especially in the hardcore tournament game. So check out Into the Great Wide Opens. I'm doing that with Brad Leitner, and that's going to be live one Wednesday a month. We kicked off on a Saturday with Ben Milliken, and we've got some really good guests lined up, and we're just going to kind of track the opens and pull the curtains back on that sucker. So don't forget to check that out. It's going to be on my channels too, so you can catch it there. And yeah, I mean that's an exciting thing. I mean, a couple of years ago when I was driving around listening to Straycast, I was like, oh, I can relate to a lot of this stuff. And man, you fall down the stairs and grab a microphone and call up some buddies and start BSing, and all of a sudden we get the call. That's I'm pretty proud of that. It's it's a good feeling, and hopefully don't get stepped on in the opens too bad, so can at least keep a little recognition as we go with the show, because that's kind of the point. But win or lose, we're going to get into it, and yeah, it's going to be good there. And before we get into it, I just gotta thank the sponsors for hopping on again this year, and a couple new ones in the mix too, so really excited. We'll start with Nordic Point Lodge. Just a really great family and a really good operation they got going on there. I'm going to drop the Now Live website below in my description, and you guys can check out that. You're going to want to book sooner than later at that place. Really good fishing, really nice area, and really good people. So next up, 13 Fishing. Man, I've been playing with rods in here and throwing some line on, trying to do it a little bit here and there. And some of the new stuff coming down the pipe is really impressive. They didn't just stalemate it and stick with old lineups. They listen to the anglers, they listen to G, they listen to Zaldane, and just try to get everything where it should be. And it's right there. I'm rolling into the opens next year, and have full confidence that I have a full spread of everything I need. And for the hard water too, there's been some new stuff coming out. There's a new tickle stick 38 light. That's a damn beauty. We've been ripping up some perch on that thing. Ashley and I just had a big old perch fry tonight. Classic Canadian dinner. We lit them up on a new Z-Man bait, actually. This is no lie. This is the micro finesse, kind of tailored to ice fishing. There's some really tiny little Elastec baits. There's going to be some good bass ones too on that micro side, but this little larvas deal, and we blasted them. I'll have a lube tube video coming out on that. But I mean, as always, I've been using Z-Man forever, and I've been partnered up with Z-Man for several years, and man, that's just one of those things. If they drop me on the asphalt tomorrow from the pro staff team, I'd still be buying blue bag. So definitely a big thanks to them as well. Suffix line got a whole shipment of advanced fluoro in. That's nice stuff. I started using it last year, was really impressed. obviously as a competitive angler, I want the best line I can get, and just all around that Suffix Advance, just every category does its job. No surprises, no letdowns, no nothing there. Also, the braid's really good too. That Pro Mix braid is unreal. It's way lower on the price point. It's probably the cheapest spool of braid you can get, and I've got most of my spinning rods spooled up with it. It's good stuff. I like the 6 pound. It's a kind of on the heavy side for a 6 pound, so really good for most smallmouth applications. Definitely worth a look. That's the Pro Mix braid. And since I live in the damn Arctic, like many of you listening, Strike Master Ice Augers, uh, thanks to them. Congrats to Haley Naniska as well too. She won the 40-volt giveaway. Really good reception on that. Thanks to everyone that shared and subscribed and got in on that deal. But yeah, she's laughing now. She's got the Cadillac Ice Augers. That 40 volts unreal. There's a lot of slush out on the lake right now, and having that torque and ability with the 40 volt, just always knowing it's going to work. It's just one thing that makes ice fishing suck a little less. I had a couple days where I was thinking about selling all my gear out there. I was breaking hitches and dealing with major slush and blowing in trails and everything like that. And it's nice to not have to worry about the ice auger. I got a whole graveyard of them behind me. I used to rag all those poor augers, the recoils. When you're 6'6" and there's a 20-inch recoil and you're pulling your heart out trying to get that damn thing to start in minus 30, you're gonna bust some. So one less thing to worry about there. Check those out at Lake of the Woods Sports while you're there. And just the best stocked store, period. When you go to the city or go down south or whatever, you always get excited to go check out the tackle stores and everything. And I got to be honest, I haven't been anywhere that's impressed me. And I'm sounding like a tackle snob there, but we're kind of taking it for granted how well stocked Kenora and Winnipeg and the online store are, and just taking it to the next level in central Canada. And got a shout out London WSL. Gonna run last year's boat for the first 2 opens of the year, and then rig up a new one in the spring. Man, I can't say enough about these 2075 Pro V basses. As I do bass tournaments, walleye tournaments. Used to do some guiding, have a cabin on the lake, leave it tied up, run down the lake and go for dinner with a group of people. I haven't done it, but I've seen people tubing around. You can get the tube set up. So it's the perfect boat for anyone from, a competitive angler like myself or Gussie or Brian, all the way over to someone who just likes fishing, wants a good fishing platform, and wants a good all around boat. You can still have a family boat without giving up your dreams. So Deadly Rig, check them out. WSL Sport. They got some good sales going on right now. Say hi to Cam. Tell him I sent you. And I got to thank my buddy Matty at Crawford's Camp. Absolute prime destination in Sioux Narrows. Spent a lot of time there. He's got nice new updated cabins. Really great ice fishing destination too. The lake trout boom's happening there right now. I'm actually heading up on the weekend to go fish with some buddies from Wisconsin. And yeah, the Rydbergs have a bunch of winterized cabins. Matty knows the deal. He's a hardcore angler. Fished a few tournaments with them. He's a great host, and they'll take care of you over there for sure. So check that out at crawfordscamps.com. And thanks to the Dryden Trailblazer Tourism Association. I grew up in Dryden. That's where I spent the first 15 or so years of my life. And I've been sitting back, and we used to go fishing there when I was a kid, and it was totally different. You'd go to these back lakes. There's pretty much unlimited back lakes around there, and the walleye fishing was just out of control good. No one had graphs or trolling motors or anything like that. You just used jigs and spinners, and we didn't have a clue what we were doing. We would destroy them. And back in those days, the Wabagoon was really intimidating, and people made fun of it a bunch, and it just wasn't a place you went. The last 8-10 years, it has just been one of the places to be. The crappie boom's just happening over there. And walleyes, muskies, just a totally different place to fish anything. It's a really cool, like, reservoir style lake with all these little clear back lakes, and I love going there for the Walleye Masters. It's a great tournament. The Dryden Bass tournament, unreal weights there. Pretty much expect over 20 pounds to compete in the tournament there for your best 5. So just really good fishing, really not explored that much. And I mean, the best way I can describe it is you're getting that remote fishing experience, but you've kind of still got all the necessities, you know, the hotels, restaurants, shopping, everything like that. So definitely worth looking into a fishing trip to Dryden. I'm going to head there just in a few weeks. I'm meeting a buddy, John Engstrom, there in a couple weeks, and we're gonna go tackle some crappies and tag some fish for the Trailblazer Tourism Association's tagged fish contest. Look for some more details on that. Really good way to make some scratch. But anyway, yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. John's dad Dale was really someone who was influential in my fishing path. You know, I talk about these back lakes, and he was kind of the back lake warrior that showed us how to get her done, and then, you know, kind of then turn into a bit of a local legend on the Wabagoon. So just going to be cool to get back there, go down memory lane, and do some heavy catching. So definitely looking forward to that. Keep an eye out for that video sometime early February. And last but not least, thanks to Sims Fishing Products. Really good folks to work with, and obviously the best gear you can get. That's no contest. That Pro Dry suit and that new guide suit, which is pretty much an insulated pro guide, is a really nice deal if you're a hardcore angler. And now, you know, in the last couple of years, they've made some more mid-range stuff where you can still, you know, run super high-end gear and not have to pay like the hardcore angler price tag. So definitely check those out at Lake of the Woods Sports. It's a huge selection there. New stuff coming in all the time, and they really have you covered from head to toe. Accessories, grab yourself a fish whistle, do what you got to do. And I promise we're gonna move forward here. So yeah, I mean, you may not like sitting through all the sponsor plugs, but it's really because of them that this show can keep rocking, and you know it's worth it to keep doing. Um, Not that I'm over, you know, and it's really because of them that the show can keep rocking, and we can keep doing what we're doing here and bringing you something to listen to while you're driving around or working or cutting the grass, plowing the driveway, whatever you're doing. So yeah, really appreciate that. And there's also a few guys that have helped me out along the way that don't want any recognition. So I'll give them I guess it'd be a silent shout out. You know, if you're listening, you know who you are, and really appreciative of making, you know, signing up for the opens an actual reality, and no way I could have done it without your help. So thanks again for that. And all right, before we get our guests on here, I got to remind you about KBI, the Kenora Bass International, Canada's premier bass tournament. Cori.libitka put out a post earlier. They're looking for volunteers. You know, they need some people on the board. There's a lot of positions available. You know, the volunteers over the years are what keeps that tournament together. We have the single best open team tournaments in North America. You know, you talk to anyone that's traveled around and they'll agree with you, but that doesn't happen without volunteers and community support. It's been so great, everyone so far, to help out with that. I know Ashley mentioned she was gonna volunteer this year, and yeah, I mean it's a big ask, but if you can spare the time, or your kids need volunteer hours, or maybe you're looking at getting into fishing the KBI, that's a great way to get around it, be around the anglers, be around the hype. You know, just kind of get into the scene. You may not want to throw your $800 down and go fish for 3 days in the really the most competitive tournament in Canada. But if you have aspirations of it, that's a great place to start. Start meeting some people and maybe pick up a little info along the way. So I'll link below Corey's email, and if you're interested in volunteering, man, we'd be forever grateful, because that tournament means a lot to me. Growing up in Canada around here, that's really like the Bassmaster Classic for us. So definitely will do anything I can, and hopefully there's a few other people thinking like that, and we got to keep this baby rocking and stronger than ever. So definitely help out if you can. Appreciate that. All right, I'm done filling your ears. Full disclosure here on tonight's guest, really was a surprise guest to me. I was supposed to have Doug Wagner and Jesse Baker on. Doug just texted me about half an hour ago and said that his power's out. I don't know if a tree fell on the lines or what's going on, but he's got no power. They'll be on next week's show. Going to be some really great stories out of them. So I texted, I was like, well, who can I text that'll just drop it and come on a podcast quick? And I dialed up Pat Renwick. hosts a stray cast. I was like, oh yeah, he's always got something to say. He'll know. And he suggested I contact Chris GROH. And I can't believe I didn't think of this on my own earlier. Chris GROH is a professional tournament angler. He's fishing currently on the whatever circuit they call it now. It's the FLW Tackle Warehouse MLF Invitational. It's changed names the last three years. It's the FLW Tour. But actually, Chris had fished the Bassmaster Opens quite a few years ago. Qualified for the Bassmaster Elite Series. Fished there for a few years, and he roomed with. He was really good buddies. He's good buddies with Fider and Gussie, and stayed with them in the Johnstons. And I got a chance to go fishing with him in Florida, and we had a hoot. He's a really good guy, down to earth, and he's going to offer a different perspective, in the tournament fishing realm. That's something that podcasts don't cover a lot is kind of the hardship of how it can be. Chris has really been persistent at chasing his dream, and he's had some great success. He's fishing over there on FLW now. He's going to be able to offer some really great insight, probably a few good stories, and I'm really looking forward to talking to him because it's been a long time. So without further ado, here's Chris GROH.
Oh, we're not live. We're not live, are we?
No. Say whatever you want. I'll edit it out after.
No, but this is bad.
Hell yeah, bud. Little potluck. I'm down.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's get into this thing. All
right. You tell me when I'm live. What? Give me something before him. No swearing, or no swearing. What do we got?
No, we're live now, but I already gave you the 5-minute grace period. Chris and I talked about some offside things that are not built for air, and this has a reputation of being a pretty genuine and honest podcast. But all what we talked about is not appropriate for any podcast. So
perfect.
I don't know, bud. Just go with what feels right.
Okay, so we're starting now. So let's roll.
We already started.
Oh, we already started. Hell yeah. Well, I do have a bunch of interesting things, and what's awesome, Mr. Brucey, is you don't mind me calling that. Remember our day swim jigging together?
Yeah, I was just thinking about it for the last hour since Pat brought your name up.
Dude, that was a great day. We whooped Gussie's ass that day. You and me were just loving it. That was a good day. And Gussie catches the big ones, and you and me just bombing on his ass.
Yeah, he caught the big one. He flipped just like a flipping bait on a 3/4 ounce weight, like a stupid piece of grass, and was burning it in and caught it.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that. That's what does the tall tail. Then you and me just shagging back there and just freaking throwing out 100-yard casts, and it was fun. That was the first time I met you, dude. I loved you. That was such a good day.
We had a time. We had a real manly cooler full of White Claws.
Oh, that was. I remember those. Those things sucked. They gave me heartburn.
Yeah, whatever. We got through her. But that was one of those fun fishing days. Like, that was super fun for me because I didn't have to worry about warming up for a derby or anything like that. It was just like I never get a chance to have a couple guys run the trolling motor and just get to mess around behind them and have fun. And
dude, that was fun. What were we talking? What were we saying? What was our saying?
We're each co-anglers that day, and we were cut off casting Gussie and everything like that.
Who are we talking about? What's his name?
Keith Honeycutt.
I remember that, dude.
Don't chirp him too much, bud, because I want to get Honeycutt on the show here.
No, I ain't never gonna chirp him. That guy's a stud. It's just funny. It's just funny how many people he's just out of the back of the boat.
Yeah. You know? Yeah, he's made some money. He's got a reputation as the single most cutthroat co-angler.
Oh, dude, he's made his wife proud. That's for sure. So,
and never had to buy I'm sure he has a boat.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Never had to buy a boat. Never had to haul into a tournament.
No, but he's a stud. He's stud. Him and who's that? Hataguchi. I got him. He's a real good. He's a multi, upper $500,000 co-angler. He's an Asian dude, small guy. I drew him this year. We became real good friends. He's a straight hammer out of the back of the boat. Everyone's scared to fish with him too. So
nice.
Gary Hataguchi.
Where they had co's.
I did the Toyotas last year, and I drew him, and we had an epic day. We both we both climbed up the standings. Not enough to get a check, but we both did really, had a good day. I had like 14, 15 pounds at Potomac, and then he had like 12 behind me. But it was hilarious. Like, I was running a grass pattern, and it was just I kind of just threw it out the window, and then ran back to take off where like all the release fish were, and there were like 20 guys that sacked them there the day before, and they were all sitting in there again. And I started, honey cutting it and firing a it's like a prop bait like out 110 yards, and literally just twitching it and letting it sit for 30 seconds, twitch it, let it sit, also, you know what I mean? And then as soon as this guy got on that pattern, he saw what was going down, and we were just tooling around, dudes, on the trolling motor, firing around, catching retread, and had a blast and didn't burn a bit of gas.
Man, catching retread Freds on a top water.
Oh, it was
I've
awesome.
Never
Dude, it
heard
was
of
awesome.
that before.
It was awesome. Dude, I had one. It was crazy. I come up and I'm like literally by the cutoff buoy, and there's this log coming out. And you ever seen that, like where you say to yourself, you're like, holy shit, it's a foot of water, crystal clear. Just, it's like there's no fish up on that log. I fire up into like 3 inches of water, bring it by the log, and I see it scoot out. I just see the shadow scoot out, and I have enough time to go to Gary, and I'm like, Gary, watch this. I just fucking just literally just pull the prop bait just to get that little prop. I was using the Berkeley, I think it's a spin pop or something like that. It's one of the two, the spin prop or whatever it was. But the blade barely turned, and he just came up behind it and sucked it in like a bluegill. It was my biggest fish of the day, and the fish just come unglued in like 6 inches of water. So,
Man, bud, that's
thank
your
God for
wheelhouse,
fusions.
eh?
Yeah. Oh, it was cool. It was fun. You know what I mean? Chain rat shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's always been your thing, right? You're a known river rat and
yeah.
shallow water guy, and
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You have no idea. We're it's cool that I get to get on this podcast early, that you're going to get a little inside info to put out to the old Canadian crowd in the fishing world. We're about to go hard on the chain rats. I'm going back to school, boy, and no one knows about it. I'm getting my captain's license.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
you're gonna do the guide show.
Yeah, I mean, I guided
Nice.
before, before you really needed any of that shit. Back when I guided literally on the chain in southern Wisconsin from age 16 till I was 23. But
Yeah.
you didn't need to have any of the, the legalities back
Yeah.
then.
Let's
So
be honest. Even if you did when you were 16 to 23, you weren't getting that piece of paper.
no, not at all, not
Let her
at all,
fly.
not at all. And the thing about it is like, well, whatever, the chain of lakes where I'm coming from is a very whatever, bunch of money hungry yuppies here wanting everything they can. So it is under the Fox Waterway Agency, which takes money from us to pay to be on the water, and they say that part of the money goes to the Coast Guard. So with a Coast Guard being on it, it's considered basically like Lake Michigan, Mississippi River, any of those things. It's the only place in Illinois like that other than Lake Michigan. So we do need it to be legal. So if my ass goes out there now with the past I've had, being an ex-elite and now fishing on MLF, they're going to come for me, and I'm going to, and these guides will be pissed, so.
Fair warning. Hopefully none of them boys around that zone are listening to a Canadian fishing podcast.
Well, I don't give a shit. We're about to take it over. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a handful of dudes that got their captain's license, good friends of mine, and we have no problems. We're all gonna work together, but we're gonna try to put out the guys that are just doing fly by night shit and running under the radar, man. There's just, if I got to get the guide license to do it, just because I got a little bit of stardom and they're going to come after my ass, that means they got to get it too, And Jamie, I'm telling you right now, my first weekend was last weekend. We better hope I get it. My first test, I failed. So my first practice test, I failed. I got I have to get a 90% on the one. And I think that means 5 wrong out of 50. And I got 17 wrong. So we need some studying to do, my friend.
Oh,
so.
It's like a real thing, huh? Like if there's an actual practical?
Dude, here's the sad part. It's all shit. And the instructor even says it's all stuff that you're not going to ever use again. Chart plottering with a compass. And you know what I'm trying to say? Like everything we have at our fingertips, GPS, like if our GPS went down, we can get on our phone and get home, So, but you need to do it like you're in a dinghy, no phone, no GPS, you have to do it the right way. That's the only way you're going to get certified. So,
Well, that's hardcore. If you want to get a guide license here, they just make sure you can back troll a 9.9 on a big 20-foot scowl boat and can cook a walleye shore lunch in under an hour. That's the nod.
yeah. So, I mean, here's the deal. Right over the border, literally, I could throw a rock into Wisconsin. It's $60 for a guide license in Wisconsin. But come Illinois and you want to set foot on that, I mean, I'm a chain rat. I mean, I need to be licensed on the chain. I can't, even though I'm not going to take that many people there because I don't know. I mean, it's my bread and butter and it's my side money for tournament fishing. But when I do want to take guys out there, I don't feel like getting arrested. So,
yeah, I got you, bud. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So
Can't
we're
take
about
bird
to
from jail.
Yeah, no. I hear you. I know you'd come see me. It's about the only person.
Jail in
Maybe.
Illinois? I don't know, bud.
What? You wouldn't even send me anything from a commissary?
Yeah, I'd send you a couple bucks, but
Well, I like Mountain Dew, so got to get that.
Anytime I'm in Illinois, I'm like, okay, I'm halfway to where I'm going. I just want to get there. Don't get me wrong. I'll swing by and see.
You're screwed now. You need to stop in Illinois now for some birria tacos. You know what I mean? You have no choice here.
Yeah, I gotta stop in that central zone and see you and Pat and
oh god, yeah,
soak up that central culture. Usually, I'm just driving right through it. So
no, dude, this was Gussie's hotspot. You understand how many times Gussie would pull under the tree in my front of my driveway and sleep and not knock on the door and come in. It's like, are you kidding me, kid? You know what I'm saying? Like, he just cracks me up. But then he started getting dialed and he'd hop on the couch. So
yeah, it's a sweet spot. It's like I said, it's pretty much halfway down there, maybe a little less. But what, man, I followed you a little bit last year. After your big exit on the elites, that top 10, that was like the ultimate send off. So I've been tracking you through the FLW tour. So you're getting some checks. I keep calling it FLW. It's called
whatever. It's might as well call it the Boyd Duckett show. So whatever.
Yeah. So you made the change over there. You got some checks this year. I mean, it wasn't a train wreck. You got
just
first year in the league and
whatever. Still plagued by losing fish. I would have had a pretty much. I mean, everyone can sit here and say this and make excuses, but I got GoPros running, so I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if you guys wanted me to prove it, I'll play them all. But there's a lot of cuss words. But lost fish, Jamie. Still my nemesis, man. Still my nemesis. I mean, I probably could have made every cut except for one with lost fish. I just don't know what's going on. And I've probably said this on a podcast before. My not old team partner, my lifer. If I was into dudes, this would be the man that would be there. But what I'm saying is, Jimmy Schmel's my boy, dude. I love him to death. But he said it to me when I started getting on that, losing fish train. He's like, think about this. We're having beers. He's like, think about this, Gro. He's like, we were so lucky. We would catch 2 4-pound smallmouth on a spook. A fish would fall off. It would be in the net. I think I used up all my mojo, like back when I was team fishing and the NABC and locally and stuff like that. And all of a sudden I get on my own and it's like every bass that I get my fingers on or touch or get near the net just gives me the middle finger and says I'm out, so. And it got annoying, but I mean, every year I'm going to say it, we're going to change it. And we need to change it this year because I don't know. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on. I'm starting this guide service. It's not just going to be a guide service. It's going to be a fishing school. I'm going to touch on, the high school and college prep courses. I'm going to try to get these kids that, they think they can, they think they got everything covered. Mm-hmm. Mom and dad are going to go drop $100,000 on school, but the kid doesn't know how to flip a mat. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm going to try to, gaffle those people and, mom and dad give me a couple $100 to teach him that. So when he goes there, he's got that in his back pocket. You know what I mean? Like just reading graphs, tournament prep. How about freaking having your boat prepared, so that you don't break everything, come day one, just all the little things that these youngins are not thinking about. So I'm going to try to really, stress that and really push that and, and maybe channel them away from the mistakes I made. But back to the circuit wise, what I'm saying is I feel like this year is an opportunity year. Okay, we got this invitational circuit that's new. Okay,
Yeah,
and
schedule's looking good for you too this year.
oh, I'm jacked up, and it's got some cool new spots in it. You know, I mean, a lot of. I mean, I'm loving the forward-facing sonar now that I'm getting used to it and stuff like that. But it doesn't seem like I'm going to be seeing it much this year. I mean, Okeechobee, Clarks Hill, Eufaula in Oklahoma, a lot of shallow water shit show. You know, I'm going to have a jig in my hand. I'm going to have a spinnerbait, swim jig. You know, so basically, what I'm saying, James, is I'm not saying I'm checking out of the game, but I'm trying to get a backup plan because my knees are beat up from the tile. I ain't getting any younger because I'm a tile setter by trade.
Yeah.
Still love it. It's fine, but I hate the customers and my body's breaking. So what I'm getting at after that, my little mishap, sorry, I'm not the most professional with these headphones, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of opportunities this year. I know I'm not a diehard MLFer. I would love to be back at Bass. I'd love to be touring on the opens with you. And I had to make decisions this year. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, for more reasons than one, you and me talked a little off the air about a couple things. And here's what I'm feeling. And I don't mean, I don't sugarcoat anything anymore. I feel like this tackle warehouse thing, this middle semi-pro, pro, whatever they're calling us right now, is going to dwindle quick.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that there's a big opportunity here. And I know they're only taking the top 8 to go to the BPT or whatever, the Bass Pro Tour. But there are people jumping ship left and right on that BPT tour. And they're going back to the opens. They're trying to get back to Bass. And like I said, I'd love to be there. It just, the paycheck's not there in the opens. And I did that route. And I'm going to do everything in my power to finish in the top 8. Okay. But what if I finish like 13th, 12th? Let's give the unlucky number of 13th.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of other guys jump ship and they have no one left and they start going down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I am going to fish my straight ass off this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all about that because I'm being straight with you, Brucey. I don't succeed this year. I'm building this brand with the Chain Rats Guide Service. That's going to be my job. Dedicate myself to my family, my mom, and life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I would get back. I just don't know if I want to work backwards. You know, I mean, the Elite Series bid was an amazing feat and an amazing time in my life and made great friends. And I would love to get back, but just, and you already know it. You're rocking it right now, but you do know, I mean, you don't knock out top 10s. You're really not putting much in the pocketbook. You know what I'm saying? And I hope Bass changes that. That would be straight up. And if they do, I'm coming running back home. But right now, my sponsors are still on board. Well, stop, because I'm a realist. 3/4 of my sponsors are still on with that.
That's
because
decent.
yeah, because I'm telling you, I don't know if you've seen what's going on in the industry. A lot is happening. People are getting dropped. You know, they're taking YouTubers over us pros. I mean, it's a lot going on in the industry. Everyone wants to be a pro. I'm just trying to stay strong and fish really free this year and just literally kick some ass. And this is going to be weird what I'm going to say here. Okay.
I'm ready for it, bud.
I'd love to make the BPT. Okay, great. I can get back with some really old friends there, and some of my old friends have left, but I'd love to see Randall Tharp. I'd love to see James Elam and go out to dinner and be with those guys, you know? And there's a bunch of guys there I don't like, and there's a bunch of guys there that don't like me. I guarantee that, you know? So, but here's the case. I would love to get that opportunity, okay, and possibly make it at all. But here's the number one thing. At this point, dude, 6 tournaments. Look, if I was to say, what do we got? Like 150 boat field. By halfway through it, we'll have 120 boat field. The way this is going to shape up, and this sounds weird, Jamie. If I took last in all 5 of them and won one of these for my family and all the supporters I had and be able to hold that trophy over my head, you get it as an angler, I would feel that would be a great closure to my career. And then I could be a rat my whole life, teach kids how to do this thing the right way, how to get sponsors, how to go about it the right way. Quit calling people and instant messaging people for dots. Go out and work your own. You know what I mean? Go out and find your own fish. Just teach the next generation how to do this right. You know, I mean, look at these guys that have been doing it right. Tristan McCormick. I mean,
he's so good.
dude, and
I was
he's
talking about
the
how scared I am of college, like of just the general masses of college anglers. And the whole time I was saying that, all I had was like him in my head. I'm just like,
okay,
he's
but
terrifying.
I'm gonna give you one other one to be in your head that you need to you're gonna compete against, and definitely a good person for the podcast. Definitely a good person that you need to introduce you to. Another Illinois boy, Tyler Lubit. He's from here, born and raised Illinois boy, lives freaking a half hour from me, but he went to Alabama State. Stud fisherman, but graduated with honors, you know, business degree, going to be a radiologist, but his parents are giving him free reign to go and try and do this.
Yeah.
Watch out. Another long hair that is a straight hammer, and the nicest kid on the planet. So what I'm saying is you're getting these handful of kids that don't give a shit about taking dots from someone. Don't give a shit about listening to their high school coach that's going to drop a bunch of dots. They are doing it themselves, legit, getting amazing grades, stand-up individuals, they got girlfriends. They're practically married already out of school. They got great family background, and these boys are just giving it to them. And, Tristan's one of them. You could already see the success of it. But Tyler's on his way up, and you're going to be seeing him in March. And watch out. He's in a Vexus, so you can't miss his long-haired ass. So,
all right, bud. I'll keep an eye out for him.
Yeah,
there's so many of them. There's going to be so many to know, and
for sure,
and watch for them. Looking forward to that whole part. But yeah, I mean, kind of bouncing back to what you said, like putting a bow on your career, hoisting that trophy. I mean, in both series now, like if you win one of the FLW tours, you get a spot in the Red Crest, right?
Yeah, why not go there and then freaking
get one of those. Same with the Opens. You win one of those, you go to the Bassmaster Classic. And like your Elite Series career, whether you end up back there or not at some point, no one can take that away from you. It's an incredible feat to just have been there. And man, that's like all I could ever even hope for, is just to have that to reflect back on. And, even though you got to still keep grinding and working forward, it's just hanging your hat on that is.
Yeah. And I appreciate that, Jamie. And it was, I wish I can take back some of the moments and change things, but and then I think about it from a perspective of all the friends I met, and I mean our mutual good friend Gussie, the most awesomest dude in the world. Like,
yeah,
I mean, look, I got to meet you, and I mean, I loved it. It was a great thing, and you never know. What if they do raise the stakes? What if my sponsors say go for it?
Yeah,
what if what if I make some good coin this year, pick up another sponsor that's good and come back? It is what it is. But the name of the game in 2023 is there's two things: brand Chain Rats Guide Service, get this stuff going, teach some kids, take clients out, and win one of these Boyd Duckett trophies, and whatever, maybe go and punch him in the face and steal his red shoes. So.
Man, I want to talk to you about the vibe over there. 27. I'm just going to refer to it as the FLW tour. I can't do.
Yeah, I don't care. That's fine. That's
I know
what
you
it
don't
is.
care. Everyone listening better know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. If you don't, you're not into fishing. So
yeah. So 27 guys jump ship. Lots of bigger names. Brandon McMillan, Berghoff. I don't know the list off by heart, but a bunch of good anglers.
Yeah.
I didn't look to see like where they landed last year in the standings for the tour, but what's the vibe been like over there? Like, I know they announced a whole bunch of cuts to the schedule, and you had these close to 30 guys jump ship. Like, what's everyone else saying? I mean, you're looking at it like an opportunity to have a better chance at qualifying for the BBT, and right?
Yeah, well, Jamie, you know me better than that. I'm looking at that as a very, very small percentage of that being wholeheartedly. Get what I
I'll
mean?
rephrase that. You're looking at it as a positive,
I'm looking.
as you always do, and
I
that's
get you.
your specialty.
Yes, but let me just say I'm taking a few positive out of it because there are some negatives. Let me be honest with you. Last year being my first year and going to the tackle warehouse circuit, not the invitationals, it was awesome. It was a pretty cool vibe. I got to hook back up with some really good friends. You know, it was nice going and seeing Justin and Lucas. Nice staying next door to Bobby Lane and seeing those people, hanging out with Randy and Sarah Tharp, you know, getting back to those people. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But the vibe now is a hair different because now anyone that's got 30 grand's basically coming and playing in the game. And I'm sorry that I'm a realist, and I'm sorry if people are looking at it. I mean, I don't feel like I'm a full-time pro right now anymore. I feel like that was stripped for me, and you know, and it was very clear in some of the meetings and some of the things that were talked about when they made these big cuts and these changes. I mean, the fishing industry's changed. I mean, I listened to that podcast with Mercer and Swindle. I mean, it's different, you know, and I'm so glad I had an Elite Series bid. I'm so glad I had an amazing, you know, whether I shit the bed or not, years there and made those friends. Those will be endeavored to me for life, but things are just a little different right now. And the reason some of these guys jump ship is because of the changes and you know, it's just different. And I mean, you already know it's going to be a tough boat in the opens this year. There are some, I mean, there's what is there, 189 straight hammers coming there, or is it more now that are doing it all?
Oh, God,
how many are doing all of them?
175 is what I've heard.
I heard 189.
Oh, good. It's still going up.
Well, I mean, we don't know though. Whatever. But
yeah, I mean, I'm not even looking at it like from my perspective, and I'm sure I have a unique one. You know, to many of these 180 or however
whatever it is.
There. I'm just looking at it like, you know, it's getting shaped a little bit more like a tour now. Yeah, you're not going to make any money off your checks, but let's be real. Like in most of the tours, you're not making a living fishing anyway.
No, unless you got really, really good sponsors.
Yeah. And, you know, like you said, kind of how the FLW tour is right now. You can pay 30 grand and you're a professional angler. You're on tour. Well, I'm looking at the opens like, okay, I'll just go be on tour for a bit. You know, vaporize some of this money that I've made fishing and with some sponsor help and keep the media going. And at the very least, you know, meet a bunch of people, get a bunch of cool stories, and you know, it's going to be my only year. There's no way I'll be able to swing it any year after this. So I'm just looking at it like it's a cool experience, and you know, you can kind of hang your hat on it and kick back after and know that you at least gave it a shake, whether you do well or not.
Well, here's the thing, James. I have a feeling you're going to do well. You're an exceptional angler. You're very open-minded. You've been around some of the best and trained by the best, and you bring your own unique style. You had a good year last year. You had a couple of things that didn't go the way you wanted, I'm sure. But, dude, I fished with you, man, and I got a feeling you're going to do just fine this year. You know, I got a feeling, it sounds weird, some of these guys that are making this switch, they're gonna regret it, man. They're gonna regret it because of some things you just said. Some of these college anglers are ready and just gonna mop them up, you know. And you know, I don't know, dude. I'm jacked up. You know what I mean? Like when I watch this, there's my 10, 12 guys that I cheer for, and you are definitely in the top 3 of those. You know, when I'm looking at the standings every day, I'm looking for about 10, 12 guys when I'm going down. And you're definitely one of them, my friend.
I appreciate that. I know I'm going to wear it on the chin. I'll for sure have some triple digit finishes. There's not going to be a way around that this year.
Stop.
Dude, a triple digit finish is not man, am I going to sound like an idiot saying it? It's not that bad in a 250 boat spread when you're
I
fishing
get
all
you.
nine.
I get you, but how about this? Let's just
You can
keep
still
them.
make it. It's
Let's
not a
keep
dream
them.
crusher.
I get you, but let's keep them. Let's keep them under 100, and life will be good.
Yeah,
And
that's the
just
plan. But I mean, as you know, everything doesn't go to plan. And
oh god, yes, I know. But
uh,
just try to put them all on the boat, catch 5. That's my problem. You know what I mean? I've so many times where like I bring in 4, and it was just such a disappointment, and missing a cut by 10 ounces, a pound. You know that just get 5, and then start freaking start putting the grind on them, putting the heat on them. Just don't lose them, man. Don't lose them. That's all I got to tell you, man. I can't handle it. I have nightmares, man. Like nightmares. I got SD cards filled with lost fish, and I don't even. It's like a nightmare.
do you ever
So
watch them and see why?
yeah, but I mean, some of them. I mean, yeah, I made some dumb things like trying to swing one or something like that. But
Yeah.
some are just straight stupid. Like, how do you lose a fish on a spinnerbait that's like never jumped, dogging them? You know what I mean? Like you don't lose many fish on a spinnerbait. I don't know. I just think I got a little against the bass gods. I think of like all my being a bad kid in high school and college is just catching up with me or something. I don't know.
I think when it comes to like losing fish streaks, and I don't know if this applies to you, but like I find that in a tournament, if I'll lose like 2 in a row, and it might it might not be anything you did. It just happens, and you dump them. But then you start in your mind, you're like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, and you start changing things, and then you start losing more because you're not doing what you know, and now you're just a train wreck.
No, I hear you. I hear you. I mean, thank God that's one thing I established in my. I don't go on the train wreck binge. I lose the key fish. Get what I'm saying? Like I'll
Yeah.
just I won't I won't lose like 6 or 7 in a day. That doesn't happen with me. But I'll lose okay. Like perfect example is Pickwick this year. Okay, what I think I finished like 54th. Okay, and I weighed 4
Good.
fish for 12 pounds on the second day, and literally the last 5 minutes I lost a 6-pounder on a spinnerbait that you know what I mean? Like I was fighting him forever. Like he had the bait gone, and it's like, how do I?
Oh
He
man.
jumped once, like that fish right there would have catapulted me into the top 30. Sure, I still squeaked out the last $5,000 check. It's not like I went home broke, but I'm sick of the coulda, shoulda, wouldas. Like how many times I missed making the cut and not knowing what I would have done on a day 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's what pisses me off.
Yeah.
The drive home's far for you and me both, and goddamn, I'm beating myself against the steering wheel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's got to be the hardest part.
that's it. I mean, that's it. I don't lose multiple fish. I lose key fish. Key
Right.
fish. So,
Right.
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
that day when you brought up that whole thing at St. Lawrence and stuff like that, you should have saw. I mean, yes, I squeaked into the top 10 and all that, and finished 9th, and it was very emotional. But how about this? Day 1, I bring in 19 pounds. I lose 2 5.5 pounders that are in my hand. So what do you now? I would have had 24 again. How about this? And then day 2, I come in with 18. Dude, my motor goes into Guardian, and I'm all the way at the freaking American Narrows, and I got to pack up ship with 18.4 in the boat and literally milk it in and come in with 30 seconds to spare and give away 2 hours of fishing time because I'm in Guardian. That tournament was almost there for me to give Doc a run. You get what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and it just,
And you get a great big ride home to think about it too.
And I mean, everything was awesome. I was very emotional. A lot of people, phone calls, a lot of things like that. But in the back of my mind, I'm on stage crying with Mercer and stuff. I'm like, dude, this was my derby to freaking win. And I love Mercury. Everything's, fine. They're the best motors in the world. And I've never had any real issues with them. I went into Guardian because I was on low oil because I was making them big runs, and go figure. So
yeah, just luck comes in too. I mean, it's not you can put everything in your favor as much as you want, and at the end of the day, it's still going to happen. It's just part of life, and
Yeah, no, I hear you.
You're
But
definitely, in knowing you a little bit, you seem to be able to roll with the punches as good as anyone, So
I'm good at shaking shit off, basically, is
yeah,
what you're saying.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, pretty envious of that. And I'm sure I'll be having some phone calls with you on the long drives. When are you guys kicking off? I looked at the schedule. I know you're going, but I didn't look at the dates.
I'm gonna go down just a hair early because there's just a couple little things going on with my boat, so I'm gonna sneak down early, break her in, and then a good old chain rat of mine, Steve Mooey, straight hammer, fishing used to fish the opens. I'm gonna go visit him for a few days. He just had a baby and stuff like that, and we've lost touch because he lives in Florida for a job and stuff now.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hang out with him and his wife, and me and him are gonna fish for a couple days. Maybe go over to where we fished together.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and go mess around there, and then head over to Florida. So I'm gonna try to ship out of here probably on the 30th of January, but practice doesn't start for me until I think the 3rd or 4th, and our derby's on the 8th of February at
Okay.
Okeechobee.
Did you see the roster for that first derby yet? Or are there a lot of BPT guys hopping
Yeah,
on?
they're all picking. Yeah, they get to cherry pick.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go there and try to knock some dust off them, and I'm just gonna go there and try to mess with them and try to do my best. I'm gonna tell you right now, I say it every year, but I don't give a shit this year. I am blistering their ass and going to Okeechobee. We used to fun fish there when I was really young with my boy Bobby Smits, dude. Awesome dude, awesome dude. Have no clue where he is in the earth now. I can't even contact him. Lost everything. He could be in prison, all I know. But I am gonna literally just live and die with a flipping stick in my hand and just go big. Go big.
I like it, bud.
Yeah.
Well, your buddy Fighter, he tells the story all the time when he said screw it, enough's enough. That was the TSN turning point for him.
Oh, dude. Yeah, dude. He is epic. I talked to him today. He cracks me up. He got frostbite. You know
Yeah,
that?
he got I was talking to Brad. He said they went crow hunting next
Yeah.
to some, I don't know if it was a dump or I just made that part up, but yeah, he said you got to go when it's freezing cold.
What he kills me is he trips me out. It's like I'm talking on the phone, like, so did your foot not start hurt? Yeah, but we were shooting him. It's just like, dude. And then he was wearing the wrong boots because the snow's super high. Whatever. He's got excuses, but yeah, he's got frostbite. What's that movie? He's gonna look like the movie where Adam Sandler's in there. He's gonna, no, just hit my foot. Hit it a bunch of times. He's gonna have black toe. He's telling me today he's gonna cut. He's like a frostbite part. I think I'm just gonna cut part of it off.
Man.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna be wearing flip flops this year. I don't think he's a real flip flop guy anyway to begin with.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, not really. I mean, he's not a short guy either. I mean, he's got reconstructive legs. You don't know about that? Yeah, you can't see. He's got like little joints and stuff. But he's like the Tin Man. So yeah.
Yeah, a couple spare parts.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's got, yeah. I'm joking, but that dude will not show his legs. I mean, he tried out for Playgirl and they made him keep his pants on. So
nice, bud. Man, I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
I was in the 8 minutes I had to prepare for this interview because it was a last minute deal.
Yeah.
I was like, I'll dial up GROH on the gram and see what he's been up to. And I can't find it. And I know you had an issue with it this summer.
No, it's on there. It's Chris Grow Fishing.
Okay.
It's there.
Well, what?
Oh yeah.
I was at a wedding with Gussie this summer, like right in the thick of your.
Oh, that was awesome, wasn't it?
Dude, what happened?
I got some guy from Pakistan that wanted me to literally pay him 10 grand to get it back. It was me and Tristan McCormick, actually. He gaffled us at the same time. So he played us both. So me and Tristan, long hair to long hairs, we have that very openly conversation, like, hey dude, what's up? So this dude like played like he was Tristan talking to me. And I guess Tristan got the same thing from me. And that's how he got hacked. Tristan lost his. Tristan never got his back.
Gone.
So this dude's just like, hey man, how you been, man? Like talking to me. It's like, dude, I got a mutual sponsor that, we should both hit up about this. And Next thing you know, he's like, I'm gonna send you this link. And I didn't even touch the link, but as soon as I opened it, dude, all hell broke loose and I lost
That was it.
everything. And next thing you know, I was selling Bitcoin and whatever. But it sucked. And
Yeah, and
thank
I mean, we're talking about it, and people listening are like, "Whatever, big deal. You lost your Instagram account." That's your, I mean, that's your moneymaker. That's your,
nowadays.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be a professional bass angler without uh, big platforms on Instagram, YouTube. Like,
No.
you need it
Sponsors need it. Need it.
when
And
it's
what's crazy, Jamie, is this guy done screwed me up bad because I'm in a lock hold right now. I have not grown since then. Like I'm like it's weird. Like I mean, and the girl that used to work for me, Elise Noel, and thank God I had her and Drunkwood, what's his name? Freaking Jesus, John King. Those two are the ones that got my stuff back. Like they fought the hacker, like got him like John would got him to he told me to like talk with him and then I would divert him and then he would use his, he would use that to like break them down and break back into my system. That's how I got my stuff back. Those two are the only one who did it.
wow,
But I've got a glitch going on with mine now and I guess it takes over a year for you to start building back up after a hack because everyone has you flagged. So
right?
I didn't lose my followers, but I'm hardly gaining any. I mean, I gain every day, I gain like 10 models with huge boobs, but that's just because of my good looks
Yeah.
and you know what I mean? But
Oh
it's
man.
about
Yeah,
all
I
I
was I
gain.
was feeling for you when that's going on. Like I said,
Yeah, it
unless you're
sucked.
doing it and rely on those platforms, you don't realize how big of a deal that is. That's like someone stealing your car. Like,
It sucked. It
yeah.
sucked. And dude, the guy actually called me. You know that? The
No.
guy called me and threatened me. He wanted 10 grand to get everything back. Yep.
I had a buddy telling me a similar story, but it was about Tinder. Um, he said this girl catfished him
Okay.
and was like, "Hey, send me a picture of your eggplant." And
Yeah.
he's like, "All right, fair enough."
Perfect.
Does it, and he got this big, like as soon as he sent it, everything changed. He got this great big paragraph, and it was like, "You got to give me $1,500, or I'm going to send this pic. Like, here's your friend list on Facebook." Went got all the friend list.
Oh
They were
my
like, "I'm going to send
goodness.
this picture to all your friends," and he was just like, "All right, give her."
What cracks me up is what I didn't understand is like this is what I still don't get. And a lot of people ask me the same question and I ask the questions. What are they trying to do? Like what is he trying to do? Like I know he wants the money, but like what does he think he like so all day long these guys sit and just hack certain people and like what are they trying to do? Like what's their concerted effort in the end out of all this?
Get
I
your
don't
10 grand. If they, you're not probably the only guy they're working.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I
if they
bet.
try 25 people and get one bite a month and get 10 grand, then they're better off than most Americans.
Good
You know,
point. It's just sad
it's
that
a
this
greasy way to
world's
make a living.
it's just sad this world's coming to that, man. I'm irritated by it. It's very irritating, very.
Yeah, bud. Well, sorry to bring that up. I was curious. I knew there was a story behind it. And man, thanks for wearing that on the chin. So everyone's got a heads up on it.
Dude, it
Dude, you do
sucks.
have some bad luck.
No shit. No shit. No
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear you.
That's the thing.
Even with deer hunting season this year, I couldn't shoot my target buck. I saw passed on every 120 and 130-inch buck I had, and all I've been doing is shooting does. I gave one to the coyotes the other night. That sucked.
Oof.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
just waited too long, liver shot, and thought, whatever. I just 3 more days though, and he showed up on camera the other night. I'm so addicted to these damn deer. I got issues, man.
Yeah. You're heavy into it, hey?
Dude, I just love it, man. That's my time. I get to freaking my brain twirls too much. Sitting in a tree, it helps.
Nice. All right, man. Well, I'm not going to hold you forever. You want to, while I still have you here, you want to shout out your guide set up here? Are you still waiting to get her set up, or you want to drop
So
this?
I'm not going to drop that yet. You were the
Okay.
first person to get the full blown teaser here because, I got to pass the test for one, but basically we're coming at them full steam. Let's just put it this way. I've, secured Chain Rat's name for my website and stuff like that. Going to have a partner in this. We're not going to unveil that yet, but a
Yeah.
good friend of mine. Um, when it drops, you're gonna know, and you know what I mean. We're gonna go with it hard. You get what I'm saying? Like we're gonna drop this thing big time. I just want to make sure all the ducks in the row, because I don't want to piss off everyone. But it's gonna come down full hammer. We're gonna be on all the socials. Good old Pat Renwick's gonna have me on the show to give me a
Oh,
little
yeah, bud.
release, so that's gonna be cool. But you, Jamie Bruce, just got the first taste, and Canada did. You know what I mean? So that's what we got. But basically, you know,
Exclusive.
yeah, basically just follow me on my socials. I'm sorry, all you YouTube fans that have been slacking on it. It's a lot of work. I'm 45 years old. I got too many gray hairs to count, and I can't keep up with the young bucks. But we're going to get back on there, and that's about it, man. I really appreciate you having me on the show, and I wish you all the luck this year. And like I said, I'm always following you, Jamie. You're a damn good angler, damn good friend, and I appreciate you having me on the show.
Bud, thanks for taking the time, especially last minute. We're going to be talking on the phone probably quite a bit. We're both going to be on the road, and we're going to be following you, man. You're like people up here. Everyone knows about you. Back when you were, rooming with Gussie and Fighter, and everyone likes your vibe. And like you said about checking the list, it's you're always the first name I look for on the FLW circuit invitation.
Yeah, whatever we got, we can keep talking. Yeah,
on that big thing. But anyway, bud, thanks again. Wish you all the best, and we'll talk soon, buddy.
No, for sure. And you remember, you got a stopping place here, man. Birria Tacos. My woman would love to cook for you.
So, all right, bud. I'll see you next month then.
Rock and roll. Chain Rats for life. Thanks, Jamie.
Okay, cheers, pal. Thank you.
Later, boss.